Welcome back to This Day. Joining me now is the powerhouse team from Energized Health, John and Chelsea Jubilee. Thank you so much for being here. I understand your motto is changing the world one person at a time, starting with the most important person, you.
You, that's right. That's right.
Who came up with that motto? I love that.
Well, the reason we came up with that is because so many people, especially moms, right? Especially the moms, always taking care of everyone else. But if you don't take care of yourself first, then you're not going to be around to take care of anyone else. So we want people to really focus on, when it comes to their health, you have to take care of yourself first.
Absolutely. And I'm so excited to hear about what you guys have discovered, what you have created that can help improve people's with certain health conditions. And but before we get into all what Energized Health is all about, I kind of wanted to know about your guys' background and how this all came about to be created. And so, John, tell me a little bit about your background and how it played a role, into where you are today.
Well, it actually started when I was a little boy. I had a little sister that was born severely crippled. And so all my life I was a caretaker, helping my little sister through all of her surgeries and all the care. It took a lot of extra care and a lot of physical therapy and things that she went through. And there was so much trauma in her life and so much struggle. And so even though initially I started in banking, that it just put a place in my heart. I wanted people to always be well and to be healthy. And I saw the struggle that was. And so to make it as short as I can, I had a great success in banking and was managing a couple hundred bank branches when I was 35 years old. I don't claim to be a smart guy, but I'm a gifted guy. And so I kind of have that Elon Musk thing. I tested out of 10 years of college math and a photographic memory. But I went and did a bunch of research when I had my own health issues. I was bone on bone in both my knees. I mean, every step of my life was a step of pain from playing sports when I was younger. Mm-hmm. I had hypertension, I had high blood pressure. And so I developed this scientific protocol. It's the only patent pending science in the world of intracellular hydration. But the real heart that got me into this full time really started with my little sister. Then when I changed my own pain, I realized nothing's more important in this world. Not money, not fame, not fortune, nothing than health. Yeah. And so that was my real heart, to help people to get well.
Yeah, and people say that all the time. Oh, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. But it's not until something goes wrong with your health that you really realize how devastating and how much that can just change and affect your life. Yes. So. It's great that you created this or discovered this 27 years ago?
27 years, yeah.
That is wonderful. And so tell me, Chelsea, tell me about your background. And I understand you've had some incredible challenges that you have overcome as well that has brought you to where you are today.
Yeah, so I basically, just short, because not a long show here, but in short, yeah, I had experienced a lot of trauma growing up. Lots of different types of abuse growing up, and the older I got, the more I recognized that it really influenced my decision making and things choices and things that I was making in my own life. So I actually was in banking, so John and I shared that in common for 15 years, and I actually gave my career up to go full time in studying and becoming an expert in what we kind of coined a term called cellular trauma. And what cellular trauma is it's the science of how the trauma that we go through, even as children, adults, actually gets trapped inside of our cells. And so that's part of our protocol. We help to literally heal that and have that be dispersed outside of the cell. And it does play a huge impact on every area of your life, your decision making, your mindset, your health. There's a huge, huge study that they've done on cellular trauma and what it does to your overall health. And the biggest thing too is I grew up as an athlete, so I went to state for track. I was one of the kids in school that was very naturally gifted, but I worked really hard at making sure I was eating well and drinking enough, and I knew because I studied early, and my mom she was very into nutrition. And the older I got, the more I recognized how blessed I was to really truly have that, because with what we do, we can really learn and see most people don't even know how to read a nutritional label on a box. They don't know ingredients, how they come first if they're up top. So there's a lot that I learned really young that most people don't know. And so John and I have a passion to really educate and help people along their journey of becoming healthy in every area of their life. And we met at an entrepreneurial event. And I actually asked him, because I was going there seeking information from a really big person that was in health and wellness at the time. And I was like, after talking to him, I'm like, that's not really what I was seeking. And I just so happened to meet John, and we stayed up till like 4 o'clock in the morning talking about health and all this stuff. And we fell in love. And so when we got married, John had this amazing intracellular hydration protocol, and I had a lot of cellular health background. And so not only did we get married, but we kind of married what our passions were, and that formed Energized Health.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. So I have to know, the first day you met, you said you were up speaking all night long. Did you know, was there an attraction there, or was it just the common interest? What was it, the explosion?
You want to answer that?
I will.
Was it love at first sight?
I will. No, for me, it was love at first sight. I was like, I'm marrying that girl.
Yeah, and I was so, into my studies and what I was doing. I literally told him, I said, I'm not interested in dating right now. So it's funny though, because we literally, we fell in love on the phone, because John was traveling and speaking a lot back then for, intracellular hydration. And he even had, a special spot put in for him at the Economic Chamber of the United Nations for the science. And so he was on the road a lot. And we kind of fell in love on the phone, just getting to know each other. And so it was, and then, I was like, okay, he's a really good man, huge heart. He will go through, I've seen this man go through great lengths to help anybody. And so I'm like, he's a really good man. This would make a good husband. So we decided, to get married. And so we've been, happily married, and we love what we do. We get to help thousands of people. It's the joy of our life.
And 3 children now as well.
Yes, we have twin boys and a daughter.
That's wonderful. Sounds like a great duo dynamic. You guys are so just incredibly energetic in person. This is also interesting. So so you're both in banking. You're now dating. How did you go, we're going to leave this career and come start this? I understand you already had started it, but what was the catalyst, or how did you do that?
Yeah, well, the catalyst was, I'm not going to name drop who this person is, but everyone watching would know who it is. He has an audience of more than 12 million viewers. But I used to have a meeting in his office every Friday morning with a group of really high-level guys. And one day he just sat me down, just knee to knee, toe to toe, pointing his finger in my face. He said, "John Jubilee, you have to go full-time in health and wellness. You're going to change the world." And he has a huge staff, about almost 1,000 people. And he said, "I'm going to give you my whole staff for free to build your business plan. No one in the world knows what you know." And to me, I felt like that was like a mandate from God, to take on this mission. And so I did. I walked away from a very big life and a lot of success in my previous career. But nothing is as joyful as helping people get off their medication, get pain out of their body, get back their life, get back the joy of their life.
Mm-hmm. And basically the intracellular health, explain what it is. How do you help people? What are some of the things that you can do to help people with?
Yeah, so literally any medical condition that a person has, in my experience of 27 years, is reversible. So we actually have a phrase: we reverse the irreversible. So even if someone's doctor has told them, you can't reverse your kidney failure, your liver failure, you can't reverse this or that, or you're always going to be on that box of medication, it is reversible. And whatever they have, it's bringing real hope to people. So there's so many programs out there. I call it false hope for sale. All these slick marketers, right? They're marketing all their, pills and programs, but it's just false hope. And I know, because I was buying that stuff for 10 years when I was in pain, and none of it was sustainable. It wasn't real. But I spent thousands and tens of thousands of dollars on all that stuff. And so, but I am telling you for a fact, and I would tell anybody, you know, and I do every day, anyone can reverse whatever illness or disease they have. They really can get back full health, full vitality. I haven't had a medical doctor visit for 27 years. Not one day of medical illness where I had, not one. And I have full vitality and full strength. And guess what? I'm a senior citizen. I'm 63 years old, you know. And people meet me, they think I'm 20 years younger than I am. And I'm all natural, you know. No surgery, no testosterone, no HGH, nothing. All natural. And that's what everyone can have.
Wow, that is a testimony right there. And I would say that is absolutely what must make Energized Health different from other health and wellness programs that people have done that weren't able to stick with it or just didn't give enough benefits. I mean, this is the reason why this is so different.
Yeah, and a huge part that the cellular trauma plays is, you know, you've heard of like yo-yo dieters or people, they just have trouble staying on track. So they might get healthy and then fall, healthy, fall, and they do this yo-yo thing. Well, there's a lot of science that supports that there's a mindset, you know, correction that needs to take place there. So that's a big part of what our protocol also is. It's really a mind, body, spirit alignment, healing. We call it holistic health with WHOLE to make the mind, body, and spirit whole. And so, you know, for John and I, our biggest passion, especially, you know, in the senior citizen community is, you know, quality of life. We have seen firsthand people in their 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s completely reverse what they were dealing with, get off medications. But the biggest thing is their quality of life. You know, their vitality and their energy comes back. They're completely unrecognizable by their family, and they have passion to live life again. You know, instead of surviving, they're really thriving. And that's a big passion for John and I.
I love that. You know, it's some very interesting information. I love your guys' backstory that you've created together, and I look forward to hearing and learning so much more about Energized Health. Thank you so much for being here today.
Well, thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Stay with us because we will be back with more of This Day right after this.